Welcome back to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, where I'll be voicing many opinions this week, and most of you will think they're wrong. But my channel, I'll do what I want. Joined as always by RJ. RJ, how are you today?
I'm well, Matt. I have both Coke Zero and Dr. Pepper Zero because I am contractually obligated to always have Coke Zero near me, and I also enjoy Dr. Pepper Zero. So the Coke Zero Lounge inside of our Discord, go to stackyourpoints.com to check that out, is named the Coke Zero Lounge. So branding.
You were just looking for a way to mention the website from the hop, weren't you?
Actually, no, that came to me as I was doing it. And I'm like, oh, we have the lounge inside the Discord. How do I get them to the Discord, the website? So that was live. That was not pre-planned.
Okay, I believe you,
It's true.
but my microphone doesn't. As always, we're joined by Craig or KitKat37 because I can't use the actual name of the actual title of the song I wanted to use. Anyway, Craig, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I have a Topo Chico. It's not happening. It's a sparkling water. I like it.
I have to say, I appreciate that Zoom Greeked it out by itself.
Zoom said, no, we are a Coke channel.
It doesn't Coke own Topo? I feel like Coke might own Topo Chico.
Yes, they do.
Nailed it in one. All right, thanks, Craig. And as always, we're joined by Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel, who on his secret stash of videos had quite the all-star on this week. How's it
Yeah,
going, Lonnie?
I'm good. I'm doing well. I upgraded my iPad to iOS 26, and it's like I got a whole new iPad to learn.
Ooh.
I got to upgrade to iOS 26 tonight. I got to upgrade to Mac OS 26 tonight. Oh man, it's gonna be a fun night.
I've been on them for 3 months. They're good. Like I keep forgetting that people have not been on them all summer, so they're like, it's so different. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It looks exactly it did last time I updated everything.
I know it's weird to hear somebody say, "Wait, I don't use an iPhone or one of their mobile devices." Basically, all my computers are Macs. Always has been. That's never going to change. The tablet experience, even all my tablets are Android tablets. I got a Pixel tablet right here on my thing behind me. Like all my everything was Android in my world because professionalism and bills to pay. But now that I got a new job, I don't have to do that, and I've decided to try the other side of the fence. I'm not going to say the grass is greener, but I am enjoying it. My point is, I've had this thing for a month, and I've gotten used to it, and then I updated it today, and now it's almost like overload with all the tips, tricks, hacks, swipes, gestures, and all the other stuff. So I almost feel like I got a whole new thing today. But we're here. We're gonna make it work.
Who are you? What did you do to my iPad?
I almost should have just waited a month and just started off on iPad and iOS 26. Actually, I can't say iOS because my iPhone's not here yet. But Friday will be a different day.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you at least have a morning drop off for your iPhone?
It says express shipping, but I don't. It hasn't actually shipped yet because, of course, the release day is not until Friday. But with express usually means at least before noon. Express with FedEx is before 10 a.m. in your local time zone, but UPS could be before noon.
It is Monday at 8:20 p.m. Pacific time. I can tell you this right now. Yes, your phone is currently in China, but on Thursday afternoon, it's going to be sitting in customs at Anchorage.
I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the US just sitting in a warehouse because, once again, I've disclosed this. I used to work for Verizon at one point, so I know about that supply chain and how at least it works for Verizon. Those things are sitting in the back rooms, they're already being shipped to stores, so they're sitting back there under embargo, of course. I'm pretty sure all these iPhones are sitting in whatever local warehouse, wherever it needs. There's a huge one in Carroll Stream, Illinois, for y'all that don't know. So a lot of your stuff comes from there. This is why I know this stuff. Former jobs. But chances are they're actually going to Apple calls like UPS or FedEx and says, I got 1 million boxes, send every truck you can on Wednesday. And then they just start loading them onto trucks and start shipping them. This is how most people, when they do these pre-orders, oh, it doesn't come out till Friday, but it arrived Thursday. Because if it came from Carol's stream and you live in Chicago, you're going to get yours on Thursday, not Friday. So who knows? But it's probably in the US by now.
It's fair. Apple, secretly a logistics company. Amex, not so secretly a marketing company.
Apple is actually really good with their supply chain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's why they're more logistics company than anything else. May or may not. Anyway, before we drive it down to that rabbit hole and that tangent,
I think we're already in that tangent and that rabbit hole.
we did the thing. We always do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's go back to our regularly scheduled Kiki and have ourselves some viewer questions. And our first question comes from Keith, who asks, what do you think is the most overlooked, overrated, underappreciated, or misunderstood card on the market today? I think it's the City Strata Premier. With its unlimited 3x categories in gas, EV charging, dining, and groceries, and now has American Airlines as a transfer partner, it does not get enough appreciation and it is overlooked. If a different bank offered a card like this, then it would be at the top of most credit card conversations. No. The only thing that changed was it got AA as a transfer partner. Now everyone is singing its praises. It was fun. It was the exact same card before. Anyway, before I dive too deep into that and continue to malign the City Strata Premier, Craig, what is the most underappreciated, underloved card that is, you can say the City Strata Premier? I'm just going to think you're wrong.
Oh, I'm not. I do not. As the residential AA person, trust me, it's not. I think for me, when I think about usability as well as just a card that I can hand to somebody and they will just be able to function for the vast majority of things, I think it is, and I have to be very specific here, a standalone Saver one, meaning that you're not pairing it with a Venture X, you're not pairing it with a Venture card. And the rationale behind, actually, you know what? I'm changing that answer. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to cheat you all here and say any standard 2X catch-all that is not the Venture X. People forget that 9 times out of 10, you will come out ahead just using a 2X card, but we like to complicate things and we like to be min-maxers. Similar to your retirement, if you just set it and forget it and leave it alone, you'll probably come out ahead. So for this one specifically, use any 2X card that's not a UR earning or MR earning card, and we are good to go. So let's just say the active cash.
Double Cash, Active Cash, PNC has one, the Fidelity card that you get to pop that into your retirement and just set it, forget it, let it keep growing from there. Also, no foreign transaction fees. So, like, it is king of the 2% cards, in my opinion. Yeah, no, all solid answers. RJ, what card is underloved and underappreciated?
I reject the premise of this question because so here's why I reject it. I am somebody who thinks ecosystem matters because unless you're doing cashback, it does. Even if you're just doing Flying Blue and are using whatever to pool everything, it still matters how you're getting there because multipliers, right? So for me, it matters. So I can't say the Attune or the Green Card or the Freedom Unlimited because if that doesn't work for you in an ecosystem, it doesn't matter how great of a card it is. So I have a really hard time answering a question like this without an ecosystem attached. It's not me trying to cop out of the question. I don't know how to answer it in the way that I see credit cards. So I gave you 3 cards for 3 different ecosystems. I would stand by those. But for me, there is not one card because if the City Strata Premier was at Amex, I would have it. I would use it. I would be happy with it. Would it be my favorite card? Probably not. Would it be a card that I would use regularly? Yes. But it's not. And city partners don't really help me in my life. So I can't say it's underrated because for me, it's not underrated. So I have to go with an ecosystem specific answer, which I can't do based on Keith's question. And I know Keith is not a big ecosystem guy other than his mother's Amex offers. So punt.
Can I
Is
just
there
say it took everything in me not to yell brilliant in that Jim Carrey Grinch when you said, I reject your answer. Sorry. Go on. Matt, I apologize.
no, you're fine. As a quick follow-up, RJ, is there an overlooked, underrated, or underappreciated ecosystem?
I think, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, I think more people who are into credit card points should also be into cashback. And I think the Shopper Cash is a really good card. Look, US Bank is a dumpster fire right now, but I have almost $100 of cash back and I haven't even hit the sign up bonus yet or closed my second statement. So I've covered the annual fee for the second year before I've left the second month of the first year. So it's a really good card. And if you use any of the 6% places for what it is, it's a good card. So cashback is different because it's cashback. So I'll go in that direction.
All right. Lonnie, any underloved, underrated, underappreciated, misunderstood, or overlooked card for you?
I'm gonna answer with RJ because it's each person's gonna have a different answer. But at the same time, I understand where she's coming from, where it's hard to say that a specific card when a card could be beneficial or non-beneficial. So I'm going to do a bucket answer. And first, I'm going to just say airline cards are highly undervalued, underappreciated, and highly overlooked. The reason why, especially in this game, one person said something, the second person says something, and next thing you know, everybody starts repeating it and it just becomes truth. And in this case, in this regard, I'm going to say you need to transfer your points out. You don't actually. And you can still transfer your points out, but probably one of the easiest, quickest perk stacks is having an airline card. Transfer your points out and then use the auxiliary or ancillary benefits that you can get from an airline card. I think that's incredibly overlooked. I've talked about this before in previous videos as well, of the people that don't care what airline they fly on. It's whatever they get the best deal. And literally on the same trip, one way they're flying Delta, the other way they're flying home on American. And yet they're like, I want lounge access that's not an airline lounge access, and I don't mind paying for my bag and this and that because I get this credit from this other card that I have over here in my wallet, this third card in my wallet. And I'm like, usually for $100 give or take with an airline card, most of that could be taken care of for you. Now, being that my airline of choice, if Craig is the AA guy, then I'm the United guy. Sure. So I'm going to take that one. The United Purple Quest card, out of, at least in my world with United, I think that's one of the highly overlooked cards. Even I used to overlook it. It's probably, if you take all the other cards in the United's most recent refresh earlier this year, it's the one that literally got better in the refresh. I know we have another question coming up later, so just bear with me. I'm going to talk about it later. I'm going to talk about this card again later. And its little brother, if you will. But it's one of those cards that you don't necessarily have to use every single day, but you can still get benefit out of it. Use it or don't use it. And it's not use it or lose it. It's a win-win. You're gonna win either way. It's just you could win more if you also decided to use it. And they just keep making it easier and easier. I actually got literally in the mail today, sitting here on my desk, 2 flyers in the mail for my Purple Quest card. Here's a miles offer. Here's the other one. A completely separate miles offer. I can't say it any other than that. Outside of that, I think the Freedom Flex Matt, you and I have definitely talked about this. Freedom Flex is a highly overlooked card as well. It's a powerful card. It does a lot, but I don't think it gets the attention or the respect that it deserves, because for the majority of folks, it's only good when those those quarterly categories benefit you. So it's, oh, it doesn't benefit me in Q3, so it's not a good card. No, it's still a good card as a everyday, not like a catch-all, but it's still a good card with power. Just because I think it released today, just because you don't shop at Old Navy or department stores doesn't mean it's a bad card. It's just a bad card for the next 90 days. I also agree with Craig. 2X cards. I like my Marriott Brilliant card. I like my hotel cards that are 3X hotel point cards. And then last but not least, this is going to be a shocker. So RJ, you'll appreciate this. You guys have all heard me talk about that first student credit card that I got forever long ago, literally over 20 something years ago. And I sat on my couch the other night and I'm like, it's just sitting there. Amex won't cancel it. I might as well make it more useful. I product changed it to the Blue Everyday Cash Card. So now I have a 3% gas card, or I have a hotel card I can use for gas, like my IHG or my Ink Cash. Amazon, online retailer, whatever, who knows? I didn't get any credit limit increase, so I can only use it for 2 purchases. But at least the product changed it to something more useful for $0. And I only say that because even those types of cash back cards are also, I think, overlooked as well. Long answer, but I gave you 4 different answers there.
Nope, I appreciate it. For me, if you want one card in particular, if you want just one card, and you can join this credit union, it's easier than just living in Florida. But the Fairwinds Visa signature, the Fairwinds Federal Credit Union Visa signature card, 5 times points, 5% back on theme parks and travel's the bigger thing here, 3% back on dining, and it's a 2X catch-all as well. It's all one card, $95 annual fee, flat APR, no foreign transaction fees. It is the king of the $95 cards. Better than Sapphire Preferred, better than Strata Premier, better than the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey. It is the best $95 card in the game. So I will give it that, but I will fall back to Craig's answer, because first answer, best answer, a 2X card across the board will largely win more often than not. Yeah. I think the City Strata Premier was fine, but not overlooked or misunderstood or not given enough love. AA is the transfer partner is what changed it foundationally, and that's the only difference. So now you can get 10X in there, a portal, and transfer over to AA. If you only fly AA, or you're only interested in flying AA going forward, or booking One World Partners through AA, great. If AA does nothing for you, it's not any better than it was before. But anyway, we'll jump to our next question, which Lonnie and I discussed in the All Lonnie, All Matt episode, but we're going to get RJ and Craig's thoughts here. Is there such a thing as too many banks getting into the lounge game? What if Citi, Wells Fargo, US Bank, Bank of America created their own lounge networks? Is more better for optionality and incentivize higher quality? Or is there a tipping point where too many players will negatively affect the overall lounge experience? Greg, I'll go to you first on this one.
Yeah. I think competition, when quality competition is good competition, right? You look at, for example, the Admirals clubs. I'm an AA person. 90% of the Admirals clubs I would not wish death upon with my worst enemy. Just being realistic, right? Like, it's not a good product. And when you're held captive in an AA hub in Dallas, Fort Worth, or in Philly, you just grit your teeth, grin and bear it. But when you add in an extra option, now you have to do better. So I know we complain about credit card lounges, but excuse me, about airline lounges, but in O'Hare, there may not be a credit card lounge, but AA and United have some of the best just standard lounges in their entire portfolio in O'Hare, and they are hitting each other back and forth. And those lounges are constantly being renovated. Every 2 years, maybe 3 years, they are going through a renovation. So, in situations like that, I think it's good, right? Like, you can tell me until you're blue in the face. I know for a fact Amex had, or I don't know for a fact, 99% unfounded gumption and certainty that Amex had no intentions of updating that Philly lounge until Chase won that Sapphire Lounge contract. And now all of a sudden, hey, we're going through and we're buying new furniture. We're going through and we're putting in new seating options and everything else. And so I think competition is a great thing. If we look at it in business, competition is good, right? More options is better. We look at the big four airlines right now. The reason that our ticket prices are so stagnantly high is because they don't have to worry about 30 or 40 smaller airlines coming in and working with trying to steal flights or passengers out from underneath them. The reason that U.S. City hasn't been able to close that, well, there are more reasons behind it than that. U.S. Airways was Barclays card. It just so happens they got absorbed into AA. And so when you have less competition, there's less reason to put out a good product. I will tip my hat to the Delta lounges and say, of all the possible airport lounges that you can get into at just a standard level, I think that they are the best, right? And I think that the reason they can put out such a good product is because they know AA and United put out mostly decent products, but that's the allure of Delta. I have a great product. You will come here. And United and AA will look at it and say, do we want to put something out in that hub? Do we want to make that a focus city? Yes. Do something nice, put a good club in. No, let it go. So I don't think there's so much as a thing of too much competition.
Delta has also adopted the Eric Cartman stance of no, you can't come in here whenever you want.
Which is great. Honestly, I wish, and granted, you will very rarely come into a crowded Admirals Club because nobody wants to pay $79 to get in. And also, unless you're a dedicated flyer, no one really wants to come in. So, yeah.
If Lonnie's typical lounge experience is a sad salad and not a very good cookie, the Admirals Club just sounds like salad. What? And oh no, go away.
It's warm beer and soup that has crusted over on the pot.
Oh, so just instant death.
Mega death, actually.
Dave Mustaine disapproves. RJ, your thoughts here?
Yes, but it's not the bank's fault. It's a spacing issue. Part of the problem is airports are not infinite size, and there's only so much space. If we were all starting over and kicking everybody out of lounges and bidding for space, that would be one thing. But I think the problem is when they're competing on space, there isn't enough space and they're not established. If everyone was at Amex's level in terms of number of lounges and they were competing for a new spot opening up, that would be one thing. The problem is that Chase doesn't own their clubs. Wells Fargo hasn't done this before. Bank of America hasn't done this before. So it makes it hard for them to actually compete. And it makes it hard for them to know how to do it. Not that Amex does it every place. Not that United or Delta or AA does it right in every place. There are some that are very nice, right? Like I know when I go to LaGuardia and go to the Delta Lounge there, I'm fine. Like it's big and clean and everybody is very nice. Love going there. But not every place is there. I get that. But also Delta and Amex know how to do lounges. right? United knows how to do a lounge, but Wells Fargo doesn't. So I think the primary issue with getting too many people in the game is there's just not enough space for them right now with how our airports are set up. In a vacuum, my answer would be no, I want more competition. In practice, I think it leads to them building mega lounges because they want to have this crown jewel, but it doesn't actually lead to a great experience across the breadth of their product. It's like Capital One. They have what, three lounges? And sure, they're great, but they have three. Is it three, five? It's a relatively small number,
Less
right?
than 10.
Vegas, Dallas, Denver, IAD landings at JFK. So they've got
Not talking about
5.
landings. No, no, I'm talking about a legit old school lounge.
Oh, so 5.
Okay.
Does a landing not count? You can't get
No.
into it.
I do not. For this, I am not counting a landing. But my point is, Capital One is great if you like Capital One, but you have 4, we'll say 4.5 lounge options. My Delta card can get me into several times that by order of magnitude, right? So it becomes this thing of it's harder for them to enter the market. Again, if this was wiped clean, everybody was kicked out and they had to bid, then I would welcome all the competition. I just think it's a more difficult thing now for them to get into it because of where the game is.
No, that's fair. Capital One also went to the Eric Cartman School of Management where, no, you can't get in here only because they don't exist anymore. Lonnie, any other thoughts here? We talked about this at length back in August, but any new thoughts?
No, I'm going to stand by my word that I had before in our other episode. So if you want to hear what I had to say about that, I'm not going to repeat it. Just go back and watch that one. Hit the like button when you get there. And so I'm going to bow out of it today.
That's fair. We can drop a card somewhere in the video. We'll link it in the description. That too. Yeah. So, yeah, I think if the banks wanted to jump in, they got to do something new. They got to do something fresh, especially if you're going to be Citi or Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, Bank of America, any of those. You have to have an interesting concept for a lounge. You have to do something better than what's currently available and go beyond, reserve spa, reserve showers. Showers may or may not be problematic. I don't even want to touch that one. But for Citi or Wells, if they wanted to break into the lounge game, like they have to do something completely different, right? But what is different than provide a space for someone to come in, enough people to come in to make it worthwhile, pay your rent on this space that is going to be at least 7,500 feet, probably closer, ideally closer to 15,000 to 20,000 square feet to get as much foot traffic in. It's got to be open for anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day. Like a lounge is a huge commitment if you're going to own it yourself, full stop. And you need to own it yourself, full stop, because if for whatever reason the company that is behind the lounge that you're partnering with were to go bankrupt one day, somebody could swoop in, buy all the assets, and you could be screwed out of your lounge network. I'm not saying this to any particular blue-colored bank, but might be a good idea to own all facets of the lounge. So Citi, they've got to do something. You'd have to do something different. I don't know how you do anything different in a space that is basically you're staying here so that you're not with the general population near the gate. I don't know how you do something different than here's Wi-Fi, here's a bar that you don't have to pay for because you prepaid for it with your $700 annual fee, and good looking out. So I'd like to think that there would be competition. I just don't know what the banks would do to create that competition with their lounge networks. You're all fighting for space. You're all fighting for rent. You're all fighting for doing something slightly different than anyone else. And I just, I just don't know what that would be. Like an an airport lounge. There's only so much you can do. Airline lounges can be a little bit different because at least like the business and first class lounges for the airlines can give you a prelude to what the experience on board is going to be. But Wells Fargo can't give you a prelude to what like Breeze Ascent is going to be because you're flying Breeze that day, or just getting punched in the face like an Allegiant passenger, or who knows what the heck they do to you in Sun Country. I think they tape you to the wings.
You're right tonight, Matt.
I'm feeling punchy.
It's also bold of you to assume they have tape. Just paper clips.
They actually use lawn darts.
Ooh, I like that.
Fly Sun Country USA. We gorilla glue you to the wings and just see what happens. All right. Thanks, Double. And thank you, RJ and Craig, for that, for playing along on that one. We'll go to our next question. Comes from AP, who asks, you win the Powerball, take the lump sum, and you are rich beyond your wildest dreams. What do you do? Secondary travel question. What hotel program are you most interested in trying or going to more regularly now that you have mad money? Raffles, Fairmount, Four Seasons, One Hotel, Rosewood, Montague, Mandarin Oriental. I probably mispronounced that one. Pendry, Auberge, etc. I know some of these are in Accor and other transfer partners, FHR, etc., but I assume they are lightly used by the majority of the community, especially the min-maxers when it comes to FHR, even though you now have two $300 credits to play with. So Powerball, lump sum, what do you do, and what hotels do you start spending your money at? I'll start with Milani on this question.
Yeah, first question, keep my mouth shut. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not telling nobody nothing. You will not know that I won multi-millions of dollars. Like anything
we already
that
mentioned that Grand Cayman account.
Yeah, by the time if I were to win, the stuff that I would end up buying is stuff that I've talked about for years. Oh, I'm saving money for a G-Wagon. I've been saving money for a G-Wagon for, I can't tell you how long. I got the cash, but then I also had a son. I'm like, I'm not spending $250,000 on a car when I got a boy to take care of now. But that's not the point. The point is, if I showed up tomorrow in a G-Wagon, my neighbors, my best friends, my wife would be like, oh, you finally bought the car you wanted. Good for you. They would have absolutely no idea that it came from like lottery. So I'm not saying nothing. You're just going to be like, huh, Lonnie finally got that thing he's been talking about for the last 5 years. So that's the one thing. Second part of the question, what hotel program? Don't care. I'm out. I'm out the game. I'm literally, this is the literal definition of buy the room you want, buy the flight you want, buy the experience you want. I don't care. I don't care what, I'm not looking at points anymore at that point, because the only reason why I got in the points game was so I could subsidize and do some of this travel stuff for free. I'm not going to discredit the last part of this question, AP. Also, thanks for being a platinum member. I know you're about to roll over. Same to you, Craig. Don't shut up.
I already saw the video.
And Ron, all three of y'all, any day now, you're going to turn platinum. It didn't tell me today, but I know it's been at 11 months for 3 weeks, so it got to be showing up soon. Anyway, the last part, I totally agree. The majority of us are probably not doing it. I can't tell you how many videos from co-creators, not in a negative way, that I've seen. Let's go to the Ritz-Carlton or St. Regis or Four Seasons and use that free night certificate. We're getting in at 3, we're checking out at 11, like for one night. So I'm 100% there with you. But for me, it's, if I had that much money where I would not have to worry about it, I don't care about the points. I'm actually going to be more excited about the points I'm going to earn because I have my Brilliant or my Aspire or my IHG card when I check out. But if it's like, yo, let's go stay at Four Seasons, I'm just going to book Four Seasons. Just does not matter. Let's just go book Four Seasons. You want to go stay at St. Regis? Let's just go book St. Regis. Does not matter. So yeah, that's my answer to that. 1, you're not going to know. And 2, I'm going to book what I want.
I have a question.
Bring it.
Will the G-Wagon be put on the Aspire or the Brilliant?
So, funny thing, most car dealerships don't only let you put a certain amount of money on a credit card for their own security and swipe fees and all that other stuff. But in most cases, I actually end up using 2 or something cards. Like I walk in and yo, I am putting down payments on credit cards today. Or I'm just gonna like flat out pay for this or pay 50% down payment, but I'm not buying a card unless you don't let me put some of this on the credit. You got to realize these dealerships only make money on financing. That's why they want you to finance, because they know they're about to get whatever your percentage rate, depending on your credit score, is going to be, which is why they're like, you only need, it's an $80,000 car. You only need to put $5,000 down today because they know they're about to get financing and interest on this other $75K. So I'm like, I'm going to put down on anything. So I think the car that I drive right now, which we don't need to get to make, model, or anything like that, I think I've used 2 different credit cards because I'm just like, how much are you going to let me put on? I think I did, if I remember correctly, it was $8K on my CSR and maybe like $10K on another card. So let me put $18K on credit cards, and then I did the rest by check because they're like, we need some physical money today. So I'm like, but I literally said, I'm not buying this card unless you let me do this. Like, I will walk out. And so I did. And I told them, I want my points. And they're like, makes total sense.
Similar to you. Oh, sorry. My bad. Go ahead, Matt. I'm going to be quiet.
Oh, I was just going to say the reason they don't want you to be able to put the full price or put an extravagant amount, because you could just call the bank and charge it back. And they're out that money.
And the car, depending on what state you're in.
Yep.
Yeah. But if you had like an Amex Black card, which I know nothing about because I've never owned one, I know it will not get denied. They have no problem taking that. But I'm pretty sure because I share my records, actually my pay stubs don't go to Amex. But I'm pretty sure, based on my financial history and credit, if I called Amex and like, hey, I'm about to make an extravagant purchase on my platinum card, I think they would let me at least a good chunk of it. Never tried it. Maybe I'll try it next time I buy a car.
Just
also, right now,
Delta
folks,
credit card that they put the gas on for the Delta planes, and just you're set.
Get that one. Yep. Craig, I interrupted you. Apologize. What were you saying there?
No, I was just going to say, similar to Lonnie, it's just really interesting what car dealers will and won't do, because I came with some Navy Federal financing for my last car, and they were like, oh, well, we can't do a deal anymore. And I was like, really? That's interesting.
For whatever reason, Ford is still doing 0% on the Mach-E. I might be buying a Mach-E in the near future.
Nice.
Electric cars are great.
Yeah. Not a tricked out one. I can't do the GT. I can't do the California, but base model, why not? Anyway, RJ, your thoughts here.
So my first call is to an accountant. My second call is to a lawyer. Around my 5th or 6th call is to my parents, where I say, here's the mortgage payment. No, I'm paying off the house. It's fine. If I have several $100 million, I'm paying off the mortgage to my parents' house. Yes. It's just happening. But no, accountant.
Thanks for making it sound like I'm just throwing my parents under the bus.
You know what? I assumed, Lonnie, that was already in your math, so I didn't even.
Thank you. Thank you.
that.
I do love my parents.
He's not telling them a dang thing, but it's going to be weird when all their bills are just
He
suddenly.
just goes to the bank and just signs the check. They don't need to know. It's fine.
What's funny is that I do that sometimes. Like I'll go home and I'm just like, hey, XYZ, here's that. Or like when I've talked about my parents' house before in the Midwest, and like literally the house in the basement that I stay at when I'm there, like my whole family, we don't need to see my parents. It's completely separated. But yeah, I pay my parents rent when I leave. I'm just like, here's some money for letting us stay here for a couple of days or a couple of weeks or whatever. So they wouldn't even think twice, even if I didn't tell them. They're like, this is normal stuff for him because I love my parents. Pay your parents rent, folks. I know it's too late for y'all that moved out, but still, if I could have paid my parents rent before I graduated high school and left, I would have. Now that I look back on it, sorry, RJ. Please continue.
No,
We went so far off the circle.
We went so far off. I felt a little
what?
triggered. I'm sorry, RJ. I pulled a Kanye on you, Taylor. Please.
Not touching
Wow.
that one with a 10-foot pole.
Who made that reference?
Nope. As far as travel, I'm very similar to Lonnie of I don't care. I will, however, put whatever I need to put on my platinum to get the Centurion, for the simple fact is I want to be able to just call up a number and just have things done. If that you think I am bougie and want crap done for me now, if I have $300 million sitting in it wouldn't be sitting in a bank account because that would be dumb. But if I have $300 million that I have access to in various forms, I'm gonna be the person that just calls. There is something blocking my path. Somebody just please come clear it for me. Like, I don't want to have to physically go around the thing, just move it. Like, I would be that person. I would well compensate the people who move things for me, but I am never going to have to go around something again in my life. It's like Snoop Dogg's weed roller. Like, incredibly well compensated, but he does not have to do that for himself anymore. That would be me. There would just be people paid to do things that I don't want to do in my life. I will be an economy of my own. I will well compensate you. You will have health care. You will I will teach you how to get a Delta frequent flyer number and do things. I will not do things for myself anymore. No. If I have $300 million, no. I refuse. So that would be me. Hotels, Four Seasons, why not? I want to just walk up there and be like, I could buy this building. What do you got for me? I would, why not? If you have the money, why be so serious? Sometimes you just gotta have fun. I may have also killed Lonnie. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm looking for something in my cabinet. Completely unrelated to the podcast, but
it was just the timing of you laughing and then suddenly being out of frame was just too good.
Craig, get us back on the circle.
Okay. So similar to RJ, lawyer, accountant, silence for the next 6 months. Right? I'm going to keep working, going to keep doing regular things. The good part is all my friends and family already know that we're bougie and we travel nice places, and they just say, oh yeah, Craig, he does the whole points thing. He must just be like killing the game. And that's what they're going to think for years. I've always talked about paying off we bought my mom a house 2022 when the rates were like super duper low, 21 when the rates were super low. Nothing big, but like she's always wanted to own a house. We did that. Awesome. Cool. But like, other than paying off a mortgage, which was only like 90 grand, I say only, but paying our mortgage off, I love cars, right? Like, I love the actual act of driving. I am getting a tricked out garage, right? And you all will not see it. This is Craig's personal stash of driving things. I will be going zooming in my Connecticut mansion off in the hills. I will just disappear. I'm going to scrub my digital footprint, and you people will never see me again. One thing I will say, unlike Lonnie, I'm going to still play the points and miles game. One person that I really love, Manu Ginobili. I'm not a Spurs fan, but I love game recognized game, granddad. And Manu Ginobili is a huge points and miles person. You don't have to be. But at that point, it's no longer about finance. It truly is just a hobby. I got to figure out something to do because after my first year and a half, I'm not going to be working anymore. So I need things to preoccupy my time as I'm on my G5 jet flying to the Maldives. And then I'm going to buy Maldives Island, add sand, and then watch everybody else as my island floats nicely. That's a joke purely to make Matt mad, people.
Just swing and pick me up on the way.
I got you. But yeah, I will also no longer be flying commercial. Like I'm going full Taylor Swift. We got to do a 42-mile flight. Cool. Like I'm just no longer doing that. Oddly enough, I like doing yard work, right? Like I just got a riding mower. I think it's cool. Right? It's nice. I'm purely doing things just for fun. One thing though, and this is going to sound odd, I'm never going to let my son know how much money we truly have because I want him to still have a work ethic and not be a terrible person. And not to say that rich people are terrible people, right? I'm not saying that. But okay, yeah, well, fair.
Not all rich people, Matt.
The overwhelming majority of them.
It also depends on what you define as rich. But anyway, go on. Apparently, we have had tangent shows. This is going to be one of them, people.
Under this consideration, I'm looking at the current Powerball. I'm assuming that I just won $1.3 billion. That's hyper wealth, right? Like I'm not Steve Ballmer by any means, but like I'm gonna get at least $500 million in either some VOO or whatever ETF, and I'm never gonna work again. Just be honest, like, hey. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not doing anything extra. We'll still go off to far off places. I won't worry about money, but as a whole, I just won't pretty much change my life too much. I might get a 13-inch iPad instead of the 11 that I have right now, which isn't bad. I like the portability of it. It's really nice. But it feels like just a little bit more. But also, when I was holding the 13, I'm like, ah. So now I have two iPads, one for each hand.
I was supposed to say, why not get both? You don't care about
Exactly.
nothing else. Why not get both?
I would get the Apple headset and then just pay the company that makes the lenses to make me custom lenses so I could use the damn headset. I don't care how much money, just make this work with my face.
And one thing I will say, this is going to sound really bad. I am a cold piece of work. Certain family members, hey, I got you. Don't worry about it. Some of y'all, you will never see Craig again. That's it for me.
You know what they say in Chicago? You never want to see anybody again. Just give them some money. Give them $500 and you'll never see them again.
That's when you tell them that you won $10,000 in the lottery. So if you give them 1,000, they think they've gotten a really good piece and then they leave you alone.
We were on rails. We were.
This question is about winning money, Matt. We're talking about winning money.
And then somebody put a penny on the check.
We are not on rails.
No.
I wouldn't even pay for dinner. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be waiting to see who's going to pick up the check. You got to spot me. I left my wallet in the car.
What? I'll pay you back in Bitcoin. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Ooh, that's a good reference right there.
Yeah.
Points for Matt.
Exactly.
Points for Matt.
All right, so let's see. I win the Powerball. I join that elite. Take the lump sum. I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams. What do? First of all, I need to I'm contacting a tax attorney and just setting myself up that way. 2, I'm setting my kid up so that they don't necessarily have to work, but they're still going to work. That's going to be a trust that they won't be able to access until they're like 25. Get that going. And then secondary travel question, you listed a huge number of way up there hotels that not a lot of people go to. First of all, I'm going to sample all of them. I will view the penthouses in all of them. And then pick my poison from there. If I've got money to go to Raffles or Fairmount or the Four Seasons or a One Hotel or Rosewood, any of those, I'm for dang sure going to make sure that I can get the best room available, pay my way into the best room as when it's available. I'm not going to be able to bump anyone out of that room, but I will pay for the top room in the building. If I got to make a call, I'll make a call. If I got to have somebody make a call for me because now I don't have to make a call, I can just pay someone to do it. Sure, I'll do that too. I'm going to hate myself a little bit for doing that, but I'll have money. I won't care. Yeah. So I'll sample them. Then I'll pick one and just go from there. And I'll keep sampling as I travel internationally. I can travel how I want. I can go wherever I want and go from there. But yeah, I might also slightly hate myself along the way a little bit. But I can buy therapy at that point. It's fine.
That's what we're
So,
really missing in all this, is that we no longer have to worry about paying for healthcare.
now we can just pay for more healthcare.
Just buy a small health insurance company and then make them not deny your coverage.
You can finally afford Cobra.
That's a dark joke for everybody.
Moving on.
I don't like that Cobra exists. I
Have
don't
fun
like.
figuring out what you're going to name this episode, RJ. You got plenty of options, enough options to win the Powerball.
I've changed the title 6 times already.
You know what else? Another one I thought about. Y'all know I love leather products, right? Like, I'm gonna make high quality luxury gimp suits.
Oh, that's
Okay,
the title.
Now I'm done.
For the love
okay,
of
I'm
God,
sorry.
I don't want to see the ranch where you're starting out.
Oh, you know it's gonna be either in Wyoming, Utah, or Montana in the mountain ranges. You can come and do a dip in my waters brought in purely from the waters of Lake Minnetonka, warmed to the perfect degrees. Okay, I'm done. I promise you I'm done. I'm gonna be quiet now.
I'm grabbing my Purple Rain t-shirt. I'll be right back.
What a long, strange trip this episode is. All right. So thanks, AP. I'm sure that's not the answer you were expecting in any way, shape, or form. We'll go to our next question. It comes from JFO1833, who asks, you always talk about picking your partners, but I have trouble being too loyal to an airline in particular because I have trouble justifying paying extra just to pick a certain airline. If hypothetically your favorite airline and another flew the same route at the same time, how much cheaper does your non-preferred airline have to be to justify booking them? I will add the proviso, please don't make that non-preferred airline Spirit or Allegiant or Sun Country. But y'all might have a dollar amount that works for you. Lonnie, the virtues of loyalty and your status reflecting status, your thoughts here.
Yeah. So this is actually a real life scenario, and I've dealt with this before, especially when you travel through major airlines like Chicago to LAX, all 3 major airlines. Taking out the bottom of the barrel for you there, Matt. But all the other major airlines, the big 3, even potentially big 4, Southwest is at Midway, it's not at O'Hare. At least not yet. Craig, keep me honest there.
Southwest actually allows you in the plane, unlike Sun Country, which will just duct tape you if they can afford duct tape that week.
No, I was saying is because Southwest has primarily been at Midway Airport in Chicago, not O'Hare Airport. But I don't know if they've expanded themselves to O'Hare yet. But anyway.
They have not.
Okay. But for me, it's not necessarily about the cost of the points or the miles in this case, or even the dollars itself. No, let's be 100% clear. I go through my miles and then my points and then cash in that order when I'm choosing an airline. But if as in your scenario, if there's another airline like Delta or American going to the obviously same day, they fly the same routes, they fly the same airports, roughly about the same time. I would still pick United, even if I had to pay a little bit more in miles or even in actual cash. Now, there is a level in actual cash. If it's $500, $1,000 more, no. But for me, it's about two things. One, the customer service. Because of my status with United, I'm not going to lie, I get a different level of customer service. And they treat their loyalists very well, just like any company treats their loyalists, the ones that bring the most money in and flies their product the most or uses them the most. They treat them very well. Because of my tenure status with United, I can't beat that customer service that I know I'm not going to get if I walk to Terminal 2 and fly another airline. The other aspect of it is to maintain that, I need to keep flying them. And in my case, my status, especially getting 1K, which at the current moment here in mid-September 2025, does not look like I'm going to hit 1K for 2026, which I'm okay with. But the point is, if I was like one or two flights away from hitting 1K, screw that. It's not worth it to me because, once again, I don't necessarily define value as financial every single time. And like I said, that customer service, how they treat me, my free upgrade, the fact that I can sit in the front for $0 without an upgrade, I can just book in the front of the plane for myself and my entire family and 8 other people on top of that if we're all on the same itinerary and everybody gets a free bag. Come on, man, I can't beat that. If it came down to the scenario in your question, I'm always going to pick my preferred airline, which in my case is United. I mentioned earlier, there are some people out there that don't have a preferred airline, which is 100% okay. There's people out there that will just book whatever they can, whatever is convenient, whatever is convenient in price, whatever is convenient in time, whatever is convenient in connection flights or travel time or travel days. And that's completely fine too. Like I said, they'll fly one airline, get into their destination, a different airline back. Completely fine. But when it comes to me, I'm going to stay loyal because I have hit that breaking point of loyalty with United where I know I'm not going to get it from American. I know I'm not going to get it from Delta. They don't know who I am. They don't know my name. They don't call me out by my last name. They don't know my family's name. They don't welcome me back. I don't get a special person to come. The pilot never is not going to come out and shake my hand, be like, hey, thanks for being loyal. These are all things that happen on United, and it feels good to be acknowledged for the amount of time, money, and tenure that you give to them. So in my case, it's going to take a lot for me to get onto another airline unless someone else is paying for it. If you're going to pay for it, if you're going to pay me an American flight and I don't take nothing out of my pocket, I will stand in that line. I'm not going to kid you. But we both know that's probably not going to happen. So in my world, I'm probably just going to say, I'll just fly my preferred airline in this case. The status and the customer service is more important to me.
RJ, your thoughts here?
I'm very similar to Lonnie. He and I have different status levels, but I still have status. And that ability to, for me, it's more about consolidation of points and miles and experiences and keeping everything together than anything else. It also, so when I say this, again, we have talked about the word bougie, but I'm prefacing it before I say what I'm about to say. Money is not my deciding factor when it comes to travel. If it is your deciding factor, that is perfectly fine. I am not saying that it should or should not be. But if your primary motivation is to pay the least amount of money, I respect that, but that is not my travel experience. I do not sort by cheapest to most expensive. I usually sort by ratings. So and that's more for hotels than it is for flights, but same thing, right? Like I am not going out there just to get the cheapest flight. United and American are both at my regional airport. Another thing that I personally have to take a look at is where is my layover going to be? Because flying out of the middle of upstate New York, guess what? I'm having a layover somewhere. If I fly United, it's going to probably be Newark. If I fly Delta, it's going to be LaGuardia. If I fly American, it can be a couple of places. Unless it's a direct flight for really cheap, why would I get a layover at a place I can't get into a lounge? Because most of the layovers I find are 2 or 3 hours. So now, if I'm not on Delta and there's not a Centurion lounge, I don't have a lounge, so I don't have a place that I can at least have some quiet, typically. Forget the salad for a minute. Like, I don't always eat while I'm traveling. So, like, I just want some quiet and a slightly nicer bathroom. Those are the two. So now I don't get that because I'm not on Delta, so my Delta lounge experience is not going to be there. I am doing an airport that I'm just not used to. I know LaGuardia well enough to know where I'm coming in, and then when I see the number of where I'm going out, oh, that takes 15 minutes for me to walk over there. Cool, I'll leave about 20 to 25 minutes before my flight. I'll have time. I'll I'll be all set. So for me, that comfort of being in airports that I'm used to when I'm doing a layover is also important. So I can't beat that by $100 saved. Like and this is for me, I can't beat that on $100 saved. Price is not that factor. Comfort, the knowing where my layovers are, knowing the history of going to that airport, and oh yeah, I don't usually have a problem when I fly out of LaGuardia. Also, LaGuardia is big enough that there's probably multiple flights going to where I'm going. So if my particular flight is a problem, I probably can get a later flight in that day. So because I'm in a regional airport, that is a consideration I have to make. Matt doesn't necessarily have to make that consideration, and I'm picking on Matt because he's downstate to my upstate, and we are in the same state. So for him, he's got access to all of the colors of the airports because he's near New York City. I don't have that luxury. So for him, if Matt wants to sort cheapest and then bypass like 4 airlines to get to JetBlue or Southwest, he can. And it is reasonable for him to do that because he probably can find a direct flight. I don't have that option. Unless I'm going to Atlanta, Detroit, DC, those are the three places that I would fly directly that I would actually be flying to. Two of them are Delta. One is American. So why? But again, those are how I rank things I care about when I travel. If your main driver is money, that's not a problem. I'm not saying that you are less than, or I'm not saying that you're foolish. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying if money is your driver, I get you, bro. This is how I travel. So that's why I think Lonnie and I talk about picking your partner, because for him and I, money is important, but it is usually not number one on the list of factors. Or at least it's not, if it's $100, $200, it's not going to be on the list of factors. If it's $2,000, then yeah, he and I are going to have much different conversations at that point. As soon as you get to that 4-digit mark, things start looking very different. But for $200, I'm not changing from Delta. I'm just not.
All right. Craig, your thoughts here.
Yeah, no, I hate to be that guy, but similar to my co-hosts here, I am very much a, I like to think that I am a free agent, but in reality, I'm an AA person, right? Like I have United Gold status, I have Delta Silver, but I'm the highest level of tier with AA. And starting next year, I'll be in their next level up. Similar to Lonnie, I know that if I'm in the airport and my ticket has scanned at security, let's say that for whatever reason I am just late, which shouldn't happen, they're not leaving that plane without me, right? Like I have at least a 15-minute grace period. Like from when that door is supposed to close to that, I know they'll say, oh, they might say, oh, yeah, we have something going on, but they're going to give me a 15-minute grace period. And just the level of care that they're going to take for me is something else. Even internationally, it's not my favorite product. Granted, the new lay flat AA products going to Europe and everything, not bad, right? Like I would say they're comparable to the old United Polaris or the older Delta 330s, Delta 1 products, but not like sensational, right? It's nothing that's like the European airlines. For me, even if it's a cheaper flight in cash, I have to look at I travel with a little one, right? So that's automatically a car seat no matter where I'm going. I have to have a stroller, right? Like even if I bring a small stroller just to push them around in, I have a big stroller that I'm checking. So that's two bags just off top. I have a bag for my wife. I have a bag for myself. We might split his clothes between us, or we'll bring just small carry-ons depending on how long the trip is going to be. We're looking at least 3 to 4 or 5 bags. If we're going on a road trip, I have a cooler that I need to check as well. So like with AA, I get 3 bags per person. So just purely from that, my son, car seat, wagon, stroller, that's 100, that's $210. Right? So say that across everybody, I'm saving $600. So if you can save me $600 total price, sure, I'll give you a consideration. But then also, you need to be able to beat out that if anything happens, I'm guaranteed to be the first person to rebook, right? Because that's the thing, right? Everybody will say we love. I also love to dump on AA, but one thing that you can't tell me is Space Code in the Discord. Follow the Stack Your Points Discord. Join us. It's great. It's fantastic. Space Code loves to say walking is better than AA. Let me assure you, you will be walking. I will already be at my destination because I was the first person they put on that new plane. And for my inconvenience, they gave me a voucher and then they gave me 5,000 bonus points and they threw me in first class. I need people to realize, yeah, AA for the average customer probably isn't great. I'm not saying it's not, but at the high end, it's really nice. I gotta give it to them. It's really nice. When I call customer service, they know what phone. Granted, that's just technology. They know what phone number it is. I don't have to wait. If I wait more than 15, 20 seconds on hold with AA, it's because there's a massive outage right now, right? Like we're talking like DFW has every single plane on the ground and everybody is calling. But for the most part, I don't have to wait on customer service. I don't have to wait for these things. So there's just the soft product that I can't give a physical monetary value to, but I've just grown accustomed to it. And I got to tell you, I didn't think I was going to care because I love being at home now. This is the first time I think since 2021, 22 that I've not traveled for 2 consecutive months for work. And it's crazy. I'm really afraid. I'm like, hey, can I still get EXP? Then granted, I'll get the saddest starting next month, next year, but like those milestones are really nice. It's really nice to say, hey, I get Admirals Club access despite everything bad I have to say about it. It's really nice to say I can give my mom or my sister AA gold status or platinum status. It's really nice to say I can get some flagship lounge entry passes when I'm in Chicago and I can just go and pop in there, or I can do it in Philly now. Those, and I will say the AA flagship lounge, I'll put up against anybody. That is an experience. So for me, I think if I truly go the way of the dodo with my like airline status, whatever's the cheapest thing, that's and the quickest direct flight, that's what I'm going with. But for right now, you got to come hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands cheaper for me to not give my AA status. And the secondary is United. And that's because I have United Gold status. Not high status, but high enough that I know I have a decent chance of being taken care of.
Very well said, Craig. I want to give you credit on that. Very well said. You actually, I'm not going to say you triggered me, but you actually sparked a memory. I've talked about this before. I know I've talked about it with Matt. Barcelona is one of my new favorite places in the world. I've been going there like literally, I try to get there like once a year. It's like my new Hawaii, which I also go to like once a year. But either way, like I'll go to Barcelona by myself. Like my wife would be like, "Oh, you want to take a weekend to yourself?" I'm like, "Sweet, I'm going to Barcelona." The reason why I bring this up is because I was flying there once, and we had a flight that was delayed. And the thing was, before they even announced it, my phone rings. And then it's United on the other line. "Hey, Mr. I'm not going to use my last name. Hey, Mr. Lonnie. Just FYI, we know the flight is delayed. I'm sure you already, because like we were supposed to board 10 minutes ago. They had, they're like, oh yeah, flight's delayed. No worries. We're going to take care of it." They had already rebooked me. This is where I actually had a connection. This is why I think it was like not this year, but like last year, I connected through Frankfurt. I talked about that in a live or something. I flew through Frankfurt, Germany, that Frankfurt airport for the first time. So they already connected me, put me in the first class and all that other stuff. 100% had me taken care of. While I'm on the phone, then the announcement came that, hey, flight's canceled. And everybody starts scrambling like chickens with their heads cut off, like trying to, of course, solve whatever they need to solve. The other aspect of that you brought up is United has a special 1K number as well. Everyone else has a customer service number. There's actually a special number if you're 1K member that they send to you. And you can't call from another number. So I can't just give it to you and be like, "Oh, I'm going to call this number." They're going to reroute you right to the other line because they already know. And the same thing as you were saying, that's why I was saying, like, man, I might not hit 1K because Craig and I have both switched jobs this year. So I instantly stopped traveling as much as I did. I didn't travel for 2 or 3 months, which is, as you had mentioned, hey, it's kind of weird just to be home for this long. It's weird to say that. It's kind of weird to just be home for this long. But I say all of that because it's just an attestament to why status matters. We've all talked about Amex Black Card. The Amex Black Card of Airlines is like their million-mile status, but that's just like, that's when you're like graduate from high school as a senior and you're top of your class, and then next year you're a freshman at college. Million miler is nothing until you sit next to someone that's 3 million miler or 5 million miler or 10 million miler. I've actually met a couple of people in United that are like, "Oh, I'm in like 10 million miler club. I've flown 12 billion miles with them." And I'm like, I thought I was like getting something. I thought I was about to achieve something.
Dude,
but the point is, you guys has heard about my customer service experience where I'm like, I'm not getting jack squat sitting next to that guy and his family of 6, where, man, what I used to get means nothing compared to that guy and his family of 6, that type of stuff. And so status and tenure and loyalty actually matter. And so just as my other co-hosts all have mentioned, that's worth the chase. That juice is 100% worth the squeeze. Now, if you're in a position, like I said, if you're one of those people that just fly any airline, or you're not going to fly enough, even if you picked a partner to even get to status, silver, maybe mid gold, or any airline, I totally get it. But if you're in a position where you could get status, you 100% should go and chase your airline status. Granted, a lot of mine is also Craig's comes from work travel. I'm not going to deny it. I know that's a benefit for us in the professions that we're in or the jobs that we do. I'm not going to say it's easy as just go get you a job that's to travel. But at the same time, I understand that I wouldn't get it without my work travel. But at the same time, I actually look forward to my work travel to help me get that 1K status or top tier status. I'm happy with United Platinum. Still great. Not 1K, still great. It's worth chase. It's worth the chase. The juice is worth the squeeze.
That makes sense. I'm going to reject the second half of the question. I'm going to not necessarily mention loyalty. That has been covered at length. Here's a way to have your preferred airline, and if you're willing to invest a little bit with your preferred airline, that you don't have to worry about that non-preferred airline and how much under they have to come. Get your preferred airline's credit card. You don't even need to worry about status. Most of the credit cards in the $89 to $150 range are going to cover at least one check bag for you and 1 to 8 of your travel companions on the same reservation. One bag is anywhere from $35 to $55. Some credit cards in the $150 to $350 range with some airlines will cover 2 bags for you and several, and that's hundreds of dollars right there just in baggage fees. That doesn't bring into effect, hey, you're going to get free Wi-Fi for holding our credit card, or you're going to get 25% off all food and beverage things that you purchase on the flight. You're going to get 50% off. Those savings can start adding up over time, right? I fly JetBlue. The JetBlue cards, one of their features is 50% off like their snack boxes or whatever they end up selling on the flight. Cool. That means I can go ahead and purchase things and know that it's going to cost me less to purchase that thing on the flight than if I wasn't a card member. Would I pay $19 for a pillow and a blanket? No. Would I pay $9.50 for a pillow and a blanket if I've got like a 4-hour flight? Maybe. $9.50 is a lot easier for me to go, you know what? I'll go for it. So you don't have to go your non-preferred airline of choice at your local airport. It's not so much a question of like how far under do they have to undercut you. Compare their credit card programs. Because if the non-preferred airline is a better credit card program and will save you as much money, it will save you more money over time. Yeah, the initial ticket might be a little bit more expensive, but if all of the accoutrement of your flight is reduced or even free compared to airline A, it might be worth investing. Like it's not just the price of the flight, it's the price of flying with this airline over time. And even if you just invest in the credit cards. Now, loyalty, your discounts, your everything will be even bigger. Your mile accruage will be big, it will be faster. So like the higher up in status you go, the more points you'll be able to earn per flight, per dollar spent on each flight with your cash bookings and the times that you have to do cash bookings. Like Lonnie gets what, 11 to 13 miles per dollar spent with United?
It's 11 at 1K.
Okay. So $11. So if Lonnie has to spend $100 for a ticket, that's 1,100 points for his $100 ticket. So like status is definitely good. Even investing, check the credit card programs of company A and company B, because if the credit card program for company B is significantly better than company A and you're going to save more money just holding the credit card with company B, it might be worth flying company B, especially if company B has better customer service and whatever else. If company A is that much more expensive, but their customer service is better, their credit card program is better, they treat their people who at least are members better, you get what you pay for, and you're paying for that better experience. You're going to start paying full price, but as you continue along with that partner, you're going to pay a little bit less over time as you gain status, as you get as you invest in their credit cards, because the United Infinite card, the United Club card, is a membership card for United Clubs. You're not going to pay $1,400 out of pocket necessarily to get like their top tier club option now, United Club membership, because it's like 1,400 for the one that's like you, your family, and everyone in between. Just pay $695 and you get that. Same with the Admirals Club card. Same with the Delta Reserve. That's going to get you into Sky Clubs with guests attached for your days. So look at the credit card programs, because the credit card is status light and a way to start your journey with status. I would say just look at where you can start saving money first. Thanks, JFO. So with that, thanks everyone for another episode, and we like to highlight our diamond and new members each and every week. Our diamond members are Rex Bleen, Rupert Pond, Double Animal Fries, AP, Keith, and Mitch 528. So thank you so much. You can join the membership through the YouTube channel and go to stackyourpoints.com and join the Discord, and you can let us know what level membership you have joined at. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.